Celtics win against the Charlotte Hornets to get to 500. They're now 2-2.
FBI, open up!
Hey, this is Celtics Review, and we're back for the fourth game of the NBA season. They're now 2-2. I've been saying this every game of the season because I love basketball, but what a fun game to watch.
It's only a game. Why did you care?
Celtics beat the Hornets 140-129 in an overtime game. So we've already gotten 2 overtime games in 4 games. So that's just been fun to watch. Fun basketball to watch. So many good things happened in this game. It was such a redeeming game for the Celtics to get a win against a 3-0 team. The Hornets coming off a win against the Nets. So when you beat a team that beat the Nets and they're undefeated, that's a good thing. Miles Bridges, he was on fire from these past couple games and still played good against us. He's going to be a good player, I think. He barely even missed in the paint. I think he went 9 for 11 or something in the paint. He's good. But let's get to these Celtics box scores. Jason Tatum, MVP stats. 41 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. He had a block, and he only had 2 turnovers. He also shot 50 from 3 and from the field, and didn't miss a single free throw. How about that? Jason Tatum. Was he 13 years old? Not bad. Robert Williams played another good game. I don't think he didn't play very good against the Rockets, I think, or the game before, maybe the Raptors. He only had 2 points, but once again, we're seeing the good Robert Williams that we paid millions of dollars for. 12 points, 3 blocks, 4 assists, 16 rebounds, 5 for 7. He did have 5 fouls, so that kind of sucked, but he hasn't been fouling recently, so the 5 doesn't really worry me too much. Marcus Smart, 1 for 9 from 3. 3 for 12 from the floor. Marcus Smart has not had a hot start to this season. Defensively, he has had a great start, but offensively, not at all. 3 for 12, 1 for 9, and 7 points, 3 steals, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. So it's still a good game in my eyes. I think he played a fine game. If you're playing that defense, getting the assists, getting the rebounds, stuff like that, I think you're doing fine. Even though he shot 1 for 9 from 3, that's horrible, absolutely horrible. It's good. Dennis Schroeder actually played a good game. Shot efficiently for the first time in his Celtics career. Had 20 great. I'm looking at the stat line now. He actually had a great game. 23 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 for 14 from the floor, and 4 for 9 from 3. So just an all-around good game from Dennis Schroeder. Jaylen Brown, 30 points, 3 steals, a block, 3 assists, 9 rebounds. We have the highest scoring duo in the whole entire league, points per game wise. I think that's pretty awesome. I think it's around 60 points. Around 60 points per game our duo's averaging. Tatum's averaging 28, and Jaylen Brown's averaging 30 or 29 or something like that. It's so good to see these guys blossom into great players. Jabari Parker. Oh, what a time he had tonight. He came in off the bench in the first quarter, and we weren't playing good at all. We were down 10. I'll check later how much we were down by, but we were down, we couldn't score at all. No scoring, anyone, even Tatum, Brown, no one was scoring. Jabari Parker's a break in case of fire, emergency kind of guy. So he came in, hit 3 straight threes, and, he's not really known as a three-point shooter, but he hit 3 out of 4 tonight, and then he had a nice fast break dunk, and then came out. In 17 minutes, he played 13 minutes and 5 rebounds with a block. A good game from Jabari Parker. Grant Williams, another decent game from Grant Williams. He played good defense, and I wasn't mad at the shots he took. Another just good seeing him become the role player he wanted him to be. Right? 9 points, 3 for 6 from the floor, 1 for 4 from 3. Juan Hernan Gomez once again came in for 4 minutes and scored. Rebound, a steal. So good game from him. Peyton Pritchard, shooting, 1 for 3. Josh Richardson played 15 minutes. He didn't play very good. He had 0 points. turnover, assist, rebound, whatever. No, we shot 50% from the floor. We shot 38% from three. So just good seeing that offense mold together and get better and be able to go against a competitive team like the Charlotte Hornets. Now, Charlotte Hornets box scores. Here we go. Gordon Hayward, 15 points. Former Celtic, by the way. 15 points. 2 for 5 from the 3. 5 for 12 from the floor. So not very good. I mean, a decent game. He's being overpaid, but 15 points, 1 steal, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. Miles Bridges, what a game from him. If he didn't miss so many threes, he would have had a lot better game, but he had 25 points, 1 steal, 3 assists, 10 rebounds, and shot 11 for 22, and had 2 for 10 from 3. So if he made half of his threes, he would have had a great game. I mean, he already had a great game, but he would have had like 35, 34, something like that. Miles Plumlee. So I can't really say he had a good game, even though his stats look decent. He kind of sold in the fourth quarter. He cannot shoot free throws to save his life. Like, the Celtics, a play that happened was Miles Plumlee's at the top of the key. This is like late in the fourth quarter. We're down 10. And Miles Plumlee gets to the top of the key. And Schroeder's like, oh my God, he got the ball at the top of the key because like they get past to him at the top of the key. And he's like shooting like 20% on the season. So like Schroeder's like Udoka probably told him this, but good coaching by Udoka and good recognition by Schroeder, go foul him and put him to the free throw line where he missed both free throws. And that was the main reason we got into this game and got to overtime. So I don't know what the Hornets are doing or thinking, but good play call by whoever got that or good recognition by Schroeder. But LaMelo, 7 for 14 from 3. The only shots he made were threes. He shot 7 for 19, but shot 7 for 14 for threes. So he made 7 threes, and that was it. 5 rebounds, 9 assists, and 6 turnovers, and he also fouled out at the end of the game, which like spelled the end for the Hornets and overtime. 25 points. I don't know if I mentioned that, but Kelly Oubre, acquisition from the Golden State Warriors. He had 19 points, 2 assists, 9 rebounds, and shot 6 for 16, but also shot 5 for 10 from 3. So, like, another one of the people that just only made threes. Jalen McDaniels played a good game, made 2 threes, which is surprising, can't shoot. Cody Martin, 1 for 5. He kind of sucked. Negative 20 blocks plus or minus, so horrible, basically. And Richards, I do not know who that is. And Ish Smith, the Celtics destroyer. He always goes nuts on us, but he still went nuts. He had like 10 points and 4 assists and 4 for 10 from the floor in only 23 minutes. So good game from him. So the Celtics, we're looking at the overflow, like how the game went throughout the game. So how the game progressed and leads and stuff like that. So Hornets took an early lead. Looked kind of sad for the Celtics. The highest lead they ever had was around 10. They had a 10-point lead at one point. And then we subbed Jabari Parker in. He hit those 3 threes and brought us right back into it. And it was a tie game at the end of the first quarter. Then this another just super back and forth game. Both Boston and the Hornets. Like literally, it was neck and neck for the whole entire second quarter. And the Celtics jumped out to a 2-point lead at the end of the second quarter. So we had 2-point lead at half. Get to the third, we lose the third, and we go down by 5. No, we go down by 3 at the end of the third quarter. So that was like, it's only 3 points. So you weren't that mad, but it was just scary. And then the Hornets once again go off to on a run, 12-point lead at one point. It was 6:06 left in the fourth, and then the Celtics just go nuts and outscore the Hornets by a lot in a span of a minute. So they bring the game right back, so it's tied with a minute left. So then at the end of the fourth quarter, it's the Hornets' ball, and they're passing in with the inbounds, and Marcus Smart is guarding LaMelo Ball, and so they're trying to pass it into LaMelo because they want to get to LaMelo. He's their playmaker, like he's a clutch player on the team. So they're trying to get to LaMelo, and Marcus Smart is hounding him, and he gets the steal, and then it was either, I think it was, we called a timeout after going up the court. And then we've had our own inbounds play, and that didn't go well either. So it didn't really matter, but then that brought us to overtime. What an overtime game from the Celtics. And at one point they were up by 3. And then Dennis Schroeder made a 3-pointer. Jaylen Brown made a 3-pointer. And then here's the big thing that just put a stamp on the end of this game. Jaylen Brown dunks all over Miles Bridges. He Miles Bridged Miles Bridges. Because you know Miles Bridges is nuts. He over him, all over in his face. And after the game, post-game, Miles Bridges was like, in a 3-point game and overtime, of course they want to jump. And respect to that, you know. Like, we're risking for your team to win the game, but they still lost. Like, it was just after that, the Hornets were done. Now we're gonna look at the other scores for the other NBA teams. The Bucks beat the Pacers 119-109. So Giannis was just like a rebound or an assist away from a triple-double, but he's the MVP so far. Easy. He's so great. Hawks beat the Pistons, bringing the Pistons to an 0-3 record. John Collins dunks all over the Pistons. And, like, I forget who it was, but he went straight to the ground. John Collins, every game's a highlight for him. KD and the Nets beat the Wizards. So the Wizards' little winning streak of 2-1 or 2-0 loss. I know Nets are 2-2, just like us. Heat beat the Magic. Who cares? Bulls beat the Raptors. So this is the first time they've been 4-0 since the 90s. It's like, I thought that was a crazy stat. That was the first time they went 4-0 since the 90s. So good for the Bulls. They have a good team. Levine, DeRozan, them dudes. Caruso is playing well for his position. Pelicans beat the Timberwolves. That's like the battle of the bums. Cavaliers beat the Nuggets, which is surprising. Lauri Markkanen in the first 2 points of the game dunked all over Jokic and like stared him down. So that was kind of mean. Markkanen's pretty good. He's from the Bulls. And the Clippers beat the Trailblazers to get their first win of the season. So, good NBA day. Celtics got the Wizards on Wednesday, I think. Celtics have the Wizards on Wednesday at TD Garden at 7:30 p.m. So, Celtics 2-2. Tatum MVP stats. Jaylen Brown All-Star stats. All-NBA stats even. And can't wait for this next game. See if they can go above 500, since we didn't get to see much of that last year. But and see you guys on Thursday. Peace.